Hello and welcome to Base Plate Reviews. And the good news today is that we've got a lovely bustling city here, but have got some bad news as well, and that is that just like many an expensive Chinese infrastructure project, the Chinatown section of the city is sitting somewhat unfinished and abandoned. But the better news is that we are going to do something about that today. So what you might be able to see is that we've got the kind of coverings here, but here we haven't got any plates down. The other side, there's not even any of the structure below, and actually even below this, there's no structure. So when I move the plate out the way, this is on a Mills plate, which is why it can move so easily. It's also why I'll also be able to transplant this pretty easily back onto there. We've got no structure below there or here. That's the same for the Ninjago City Gardens half base plate there and under there, and also the City of Lanterns, the Monkey Kid set. So what we're going to do today is actually get this built up. So how it's built at the moment is with these, so it's actually 11 plates high, so that's 3 bricks and then 2 plates. I actually don't really have enough of these plates, so I have got a bit of a different plan about how to build up this structure, and we should have something where we can get some plates put on there, get this completely finished off and ready for the kind of next parts of the city. So because I don't have enough 2x2 plate that we've got at the top of these, I've kind of exhausted it all on all of these structure elements. I've actually decided to make the structures like this, so it's exactly the same, but it halves the number of 2x2 plates that I'm using and just connects up these with a 2x10 plate. It's actually twofold the reason. So one is I wanted to have the number of 2x2 plates, but also because we have got this kind of a bit of bowing problem with the IKEA boxes, bends a bit. Actually tying these together keeps them all in a bit of a better kind of state. I've got 2 whole boxes of these made up there and should have space for more. I'm sure I'm going to need a few more just to cover all of this space and all the space all the way back to there, but I'm going to crack on with that, and we should then be able to put a plate on top and have this all covered over. Okay, so I've got all that base structure down, and I think you can see why I've put off doing this. It's not the most interesting kind of part of the build, all stuff that you don't see but is needed to get that elevation. And the reason it has to be higher than just the IKEA boxes is for the clearance for trains to go underneath the roadway. So what I'm going to do now is I've got a big box of various bits of plate, going to get that covered. I think I'll do it pretty much similar to how we've got it here, so green at the back sides so we can have gardens, grass out there, but it can always be swapped over as needed. This is exactly why I like to pick up parts whenever I'm in the Lego store from the pick and build wall. Even if I haven't got a specific project in mind, the value that you can get if you're able to stack them is really considerable compared to picking these up from Bricklink or Lego.com. The cost there can just become extortionate. Although I probably did stack these a little too well, my brick separators were definitely working pretty hard this time. Okay, so I've got those voids plated off just on both sides. You might be able to see that it's not actually the flattest in places, and I think that when I actually place buildings properly into place, not just resting there, that they'll likely be on bigger plates, and that should mean it's a bit more consistent. So these kind of sand yellow, these tan plates are all 8x8 plates, and in reality buildings will normally be sat on 16x16 plates, so it should mean they sit flatter on the surface there. And the other things I've got to do are just like up here where I've got the sidewalk kind of tiled off. I'll do that the whole way down. And then the other decision I've got to make is, previously I've had these strings of lanterns all going widthways across the street, just like this end one here. It means I have to be quite tall so that I can fit the float in underneath. But I might actually place them kind of going lengthways rather than widthways, like we've got here. It means I can also lower them because they're actually pretty high up, and that should also mean I can use some of the black pole pieces to switch up this one just here and the widthwise one, so that they're all consistent, all using the black pole pieces. And black, I've got some lightsaber hilts and stuff that are holding the bits together, so I should be able to switch those all up. I think we can do that now, and then we should have a bit of a better idea what it's going to end up looking like. Okay, I'm fairly happy with what we've achieved today. So plated it all from one end to the other as we saw before, and I've also done those sidewalks. I have switched around the strings of lanterns, so we've got one at the front here and then the others go down the side. We've got one extra one just going across the way there, so we've got those lanterns all the way down. I think that's actually a bit more effective and won't have this float that we've got just here kind of touching the lanterns at all as it goes past, so it should be able to fit in that space pretty readily. I've switched around where the Spring Lantern Festival was, so now we've got one of the entrances just here and another entrance just over there. We'll need to, I think, build this white wall just here all the way along there just to have a bit of consistency, but I don't think I will do it along the back side of it. I think we can use our imagination to think that the city doesn't just plummet off a cliff down at this back side. It's not the kind of side of the city we'll normally be seeing anyway. In terms of why I haven't done the sidewalk the whole way down to the end, pretty much, but it does stop just here and just here. That is because I'm planning on having one of these sets, not 100% sure which yet, just raised up slightly exactly where the City of Lanterns is placed, the Monkey Kid set there, and just some steps leading up to it. I think it probably will be that set, although then I do have to think about what I'm going to do with Ninjago City Gardens, because it's sat down there kind of out of the way. It might be that I actually move it out the city altogether. It's a great display set anyway. I haven't got around to building the plate that I need there and then the steps leading up, so that's the next thing I need to do. And I think that I'm likely to build some kind of courtyard area there, maybe with some kind of pattern on the ground and stuff rather than just more kind of asphalt colour. But yeah, it's definitely coming together. What I'll do is I will place the float in there, get some of the minifigs up, and it should start looking like a bit of a proper city again. In terms of both the City of Lanterns and the restaurant set just there, they are just sat on their own plates at the moment, just resting. So once I get them to an actual place, I will properly build them up. Certainly this set will need a back. It's going to be facing towards the main city, and we'll need to kind of make sure it's not just exposed. With regards City of Lanterns, I don't think it's a problem. You can see that it is open back there, but we've got the wall in between it. I don't think we're going to see it too often. Something that I have actually got, so we've got the kind of monorail running around the outside, or the kind of raised tram. I have actually got some more of those parts just in the bag there, so should be able to extend this out a little, so should come up and kind of run a loop around here. And with regards to that, I'll make sure that I build some buildings which take advantage of that, so have a couple of levels, might have some kind of raised walkway or something for it to join up to. But yeah, like I say, I'm going to just get the float placed and some minifigs, and then should kind of sign off from there. One thing that I did recently whilst I was up in Calgary, not specifically to go to Lego stores, but for another reason, but I did check out one of the brick bin stores that's there. This is a second-hand kind of Lego store, and I picked up this one, so 75955, the Hogwarts Express. This is the one that was out prior to the kind of collector's edition, and also the current version of Hogwarts Express, which has the Hogsmeade station with it. This is the one that's actually your platform 9 3/4 at King's Cross, and it's second hand, but I missed out on it at the time. It was a set that I was quite keen on, and this looks to be in absolutely perfect condition. All of the minifigs look to be absolutely perfect. From what I saw, the stickers that have been applied look like they've been applied perfectly. Doesn't look like there's any missing pieces, so I'm going to get to building that. But the reason for it isn't to put in the city. I've actually got an awful lot of kind of tan masonry bricks, and I think that I might build some kind of diorama for this. I'm much more interested in King's Cross Station, platform 9 3/4, than I would be Hogsmeade Station, so that's the reason I was keen on picking this up. Also, just the price difference. The recent one is probably a bit better, but really pricey. So I think I'm going to make some kind of diorama of this that will display separately to the city. I think it's a nice pickup. Like I say, slightly above the price when it was on shelves, but that's what happens with retired Lego sets. They go up in value. Okay, so this is what it looks like once we've got all the minifigures and the floats put into place. So lots in the Spring Lantern Festival gardens just there, and down to the side here. It looks like she's trying to get a selfie with the guy in the panda suit. And we've also got lots of minifigs up on the rooftops at the side, just there and there, trying to get pictures and stuff. So I think it looks a bit better without the lanterns going across the way. They had to be so tall that they ended up looking a bit flimsy. I think it's fine for the front one here, but I'm pleased that I've changed it around a bit, and also managed to add a couple of extra strings of lanterns. So yeah, I think that looks a bit better. Like I say, still lots to do in the rest of the city, so definitely need to get that plate built with the steps leading up. I think we want to make sure there's something on it, not just a blank bit of space, so maybe some street vendors or something like that. And then the other thing I need to think about is just what I am going to do with Ninjago City Gardens, because it's way too nice a set to have it hidden away at the back there. So it may come out of the city altogether. This is the half base plate with the shrine and the kind of water for Ninjago City Gardens. I could have that kind of cascading down into the river, but then it would mean losing the facades here. Like I say, the other side will build up a kind of walkway up to the upper section. So we've got steps at one side and a walkway up there. We've also got some other bits that need sorting. So we've got the Creator 3-in-1 house just here, and also another Creator 3-in-1 house. They are just kind of placeholders for the moment. So going to do something with those, probably some mocks. And then the other thing is, we've got the two tallest modulars that I've got sat there in front of the Chinatown section, so kind of blocks the view a bit. So I think I might get those switched around. We've actually got 2.5 base plates of space, so the two modulars, but we've also got the half base plate down here beside the river. So pretty much got all options open. The only thing I wouldn't want to put there is the Friends Community Centre mock, because obviously that's pretty tall. I would really block the view. So might switch it around, might stick the museum over there. We've got a couple of the mini modulars with the coffee shop just there. We've also got the supermarket mock and the Lego store mock there. So yeah, a few options. Pretty much can switch it all around. I think I'll do that once I build the plate for just there. But yeah, it's all coming together, lots to do. Looking forward to what the next Spring Lantern or Chinese New Year set, they're not always going to be Spring Lanterns, I suppose, Lunar New Year set is going to be for 2025, because I think that's going to be incorporated into the Chinatown section. So definitely need to leave a bit of space there for that. But definitely some other mocks that need to happen. Need some small stores to go alongside the noodle shop just over there. Yeah, so lots to do. But hopefully you've enjoyed this. It's been a useful update. And yeah, thanks for joining me. And as ever, be good.